welcome to the Magical Boot. Ronnie here. I have Sudipta. We have witnessed second round, first day of game. Netherlands beating USA and Argentina beating Australia, and that gives us a good chance of looking at the potential. Actually, not potential. Must game of quarterfinals between Netherlands and Argentina. So, Sudipta, my understanding is you have researched some stuff for us to show.
Actually, US game. I noticed something. Although I have actually noticed quite a few things actually from this Van Hal team, and I wanted to get inside the how can I say beautiful mind of Louis Van Hal or something like that, and how he uh, potentially or how he tends to hurt Argentina. What's his uh, strength and weakness and stuff like that. I wanted to explore that actually.
Go ahead.
So yeah, yeah. I want to share my screen at first. Yes.
It takes a few seconds.
Yeah. Uh,
Not sharing it.
yeah, because yeah.
It is coming up. Yeah.
Is it coming?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So are you watching?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So like I took the help of AS. They provide some really good, cool statistics about game, and it's like really fast. They uploaded all those things. I guess like it doesn't take much. Probably you can get it live. I haven't actually started like how could I say? I did not um, looked into the game state when I was watching games. So, but you know, you get the idea. So, like, this is the basic stats against their rival of Netherlands. Like, they played their first game against Senegal. They won by 0-2. I don't want to bother with this sort of numbers, like how many fouls and stuff like that. I just want to look into the shape they build in and the formations they build in and the personals normally and which sides they attack. So like most of the time, as you can see during the game, this is Netherlands and they actually tend to attack in the towards right because because they were actually playing against blocked or Senegal team who were like apparently shocked by Mane leaving the World Cup. So yeah, they were quite fluently most of like almost half 50% of their attack from that side, right side. Dumfries was brilliant. And the heat map actually shows that like most of the time they were actually attacking from that side, and there were some attacks from the left as Deli Blind, one of these Louis Van Gaal guy. He tries to attack this area, and Frankie De Jong actually is a good support. Uh, so um, this is the players they used, and I guess goals actually came from like the shots from this sort of area, like the 6 years box. And most of the time, yeah, there like you have to notice one thing, like most of the time the game was in the center, but it's not really in the center like as you can see in the heat map. Let me go to the individual touches. So yeah, as you can see, most of the time the game was in this sort of wings and areas, as we have seen from there. And this color is actually Holland, so they have a tendency to build up from the back and from the wings and go um, towards the wing and try to attack the central space. And most of the time they have a touch in front of the goal. The 6 years they have a tendency to do it in these sort of areas. So yeah, that was the first game. In the second game, it was actually pretty much similar, but what they did actually, they almost outrun by Ecuador, as we have actually covered it in our video. So like I won't go there anymore. I just want to show the statistics. So like in that game, um, yeah, this moment. So
Yeah,
Holland
it's.
is,
Can we just pause here, just to give you a sense? The
yeah,
This time around, it's more looking on the left side, in the daily blind side.
yeah, yeah. It
That's
because
because of
like
Estupinian.
Kaisida and Estopinian was playing in this area, and they are attacking in this area actually. So Kaisida was
And
there.
that game they looked vulnerable because Dumfries could not advance as much
Yeah,
as they
that
wanted.
yeah, exactly. We can actually check the uh, second part of the game. Yeah. Oh no, it's not changing actually. Hmm. Um, well, for some reason it's not
That's
changing.
okay. That's okay.
Okay, but yeah, um, I guess so. It's for this. Okay, but yeah, that's the overall statistics. Actually, this is Netherlands. They were actually going. They could not actually do much harm from the right, and they actually went around, and they were actually trying to create something from the left, because like Kaiseda leaves some space uh, behind, and they have a good build up from this area. But in the second half, they were actually outrun by, as you can see, this 23% most of the time. Actually, it was in the second half. This is the heat map, and as we can see, there were a huge battle going on in the middle. Actually, Ecuador came back in the second part of the game. Um, Let me. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So, in the second part, uh, Holland or Netherlands was like basically were there actually the light colored uh, dots. So like they basically stayed in their area. They could not actually go out at most. This area probably they were trying to create something, but Ecuador was fast. There aren't there that many touches, but they were actually causing all sorts of problems, and
It's
there
int-
were only
it,
like,
interesting on the Equator's half on the main block. There were very few Netherlands touches.
yeah, exactly. They could not actually go like go past this area, as you can see, only like few touches. On the counter, like in the first half, it was a little bit different because Ecuador was not be able to go out, and they were stay most likely were staying in their area, and Netherlands were like creating all sort of chances. Like Dumfries created like a run towards the area. Klassen was joining him, but most of the time their like fullest attack were coming from this area actually, from Blind and others. um, and yeah, and injured or half fit Depay came in to maximize this area, like this situation, but they lost in the midfield at the time. So that is so far taken from that game actually. And yeah, goals actually created, as you can see, from the inside of the 6 year box, and Ecuador created there. Oh, sorry, it is actually outside. Uh, Ecuador created it from the inside of the box, but Holland was creating something a little bit, unorthodox goal from
That was
Gap.
a
Yeah,
very early shot. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And as you can see, most of the time it was in the middle. There was a battle going on um, in the middle. So it was actually fun battle to watch. But Ecuador was, they can say that they were actually unlucky and eventually they lost out of the tournament. But they could have actually win that game. So that brings us to the what can I say, third game against Qatar. No, well, they the Netherlands teams, they looked a little bit cautious, or they did not want to run that much because like there were games like in like right after 2 days, I guess. So so far what we have seen, they attacked from the left and right. Well, it's pretty much the same as match before. Um, so uh, should I spend more time there? I don't think so.
No, it's fairly
Um,
similar.
yeah, and they spend most of the time in the opponent's half. And
That's thanks
let's see.
to Qatar's ability to not block.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And as you can see, um, like
Lots of
this,
touches.
yeah, lots of touches. The lights colors are in the left, yeah, in the left and towards the right wings. Especially Blind were little bit dangerous, and I guess Deepa came in. He was also dangerous, and uh, Frankie De Jong was brilliant actually in that match. And yeah, they probably like decided the whole game and did not want to run that far actually. The formation pretty much was same. We are not going there for right now. Maybe after that. The both of the goals actually came like from the shot inside of the box. Like the first one inside of the 6 yard box, and the second one is in, right after, inside of the D box. Um, yeah, there aren't actually much take on. Yeah, Ecuador was like only 14% was of the game were actually played in the Ecuador Holland side, so or Netherlands side. So that actually tells the whole scenario. Now, uh, well, yeah, today's game against USA. Let's see. Um, yeah, that is another brilliant thing, and one of the best performance from a wing back or right back, I guess.
Dumfries,
Dumfries. Yeah, probably the best. Well, I have seen that sort of performance since, I guess, like Maicon or
not really. I mean, he does it every week in the Inter.
yeah, but he was actually out of form, and I was worried about him. So he came back brilliantly.
He's literally not that stable. He can be very good at two
No,
games, not
no,
very good at
yeah,
other. Yeah,
yeah. Well, kinds of like
It depends on
Louis van Gaal, this
how much,
coach.
no, how much pressure is there.
Yeah, yeah,
If there is
exactly.
an overload,
Mhm.
Dumfries can be really, really susceptible in defending.
Yeah, and there are issues
But he's very
sometimes with
good at
attacking back.
going out.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Really good attacking
And
option.
also,
And
I've noticed
in
today,
the
I'm pretty sure it
mm,
will show up on the stat that these are
mm,
all cutbacks. At least two of the goals were cutbacks.
yeah, yeah, we will get into that actually. And what I was trying to say, they in the first match they played Delete as a right center back in the back three, and Delete was like fouling the Senegalese players a lot actually, because like he was pushing up to block the space that left behind of Dumfries, because he could not actually he was attacking so fast he could not actually
Cover.
tracking back.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So pretty much the same actually thing happened, but we will get this is an important number, like 26%, and as you can see, like in the left side, only like 23% attack was going on, but both of the goals actually came from that side. Well, we are oh, well, 2 out of 3 goals actually. We will get into there. Yeah,
Yeah, it shows in the map. Huh?
yeah, exactly. The heat map actually shows that like there are some battles going on in that sort of area because of like I guess US midfielders, they have a tendency to go to the wings, these sort of areas. Um, and they were trying to attack in the wings of Netherlands. So like most of the time, the battle was going on in the wings, and Netherlands was making a lot of touches there. So like let's go to the dots actually. Yeah, yeah. As you can see, like from these positions, there are only possible a thing is like cutbacks from this area towards the D box, and if someone is like making a solo late run or coming late, and other attackers are pushing the defense behind, so like there is a gap always. It's like the goals actually came from this sort of area, but as you can see, most of the touches are in the wings, and some are in the middle actually,
Yeah, because the
but those
build-up
are not.
happens because
Yeah,
build-up happens on the sideways, and the midfielders come and meet with the wing back that is pushing up.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So, so that is it actually. That is basically the statistical sides so far. And as you can see, like the 3 goals were
Yeah, closed
scored by,
all 18
yeah,
yard box. Yeah,
it's
cutbacks.
all in the 18 years box, and 2 of them are cutback. I can remember this. Uh, both are brilliant goals, and yeah, as you can see, most of the games are played in the central area, 48%. So that is about the statistics. Now we can actually move into the technical board.
Sure.
Um, and yeah, as Deepay come back, so far what we have seen from Ben Hall is that like he's going to play. He's their main man,
Hmm.
and Cody Gakpo, Gak, Gak, Gakpo, sorry, um, he's sort of like an emerging talent, and I think the most important players so far in this team is Frankie De Jong and Klaassen. What they do for the team is actually quite a bit different actually, and we can actually discuss now what Netherlands does is that like they make like a sort of like a let me change a little bit. 3-4-1-2 formation. They always build up in this formation, and I guess like so far I have seen actually different formations from Ben Khal team. They played in the Nations League like 3 different formations so far, but that actually I guess like depends on
Opponent.
personal. Yeah, not really, because like some of the players were not available. Like Virgil was not available in some of the match in the earlier this year, and um, I guess like Bergwijn's form was up and down. For some reason, Rune came into break into is a breakout player. Timber is sort of a breakout player for this team because Delict was not actually fast enough to make those tackles. Like and what actually Bengal does is that like he creates sort of like a he put the players like the left center backs and the right center backs a little bit wide. Virgil is a little bit behind, um, and that's how they build up actually. And they can actually build up like 2 3 different ways. Like one is like pushing the wing backs further to the pitch, so that as if they are basically wingers actually to maintain the width, and AK and Timber. both left center back and right center backs actually goes towards the sidelines and collect the balls sometimes. And what Virgil does, he moves up and down and to make space for Rupert or Nupert, and Frankie De Jong sometimes become a extra center back to collect the ball, moving it around. Sometimes he moves around this area, and sometimes in this area. The Virgil, this area I meant like this bylines area inside in front of the default. So probably sometimes he drops a little further down, and they have a tendency to change. Virgil and De Jong actually interchange positions. So like this is one part. And another thing, if they wants to make if teams are pressing up, uh, like further up in the pitch, uh, them, what they does, it's sort of like if you remember, we covered Villarreal and Unai Emery's technique. Um, we, well, just a minute. What he does, they create sort of like a overload in the wing back position, from the center back to wing back, and they uh, pass the ball towards this sort of area, like wing one of these players like AK or De Jong in the left, or Timber or Virgil, or uh, in the right. And actually, six of these players are actually really good in balls. Like they can get out of the pressure with these triangular passes. And another thing is this, that is like why I mentioned Klaassen as a most important player. He actually channels up the attacking third and uh, uh, the midfield and the attacking third. So sometimes he drops down a little bit to collect the ball and create sort of like a 3-5-2 situations, and put like gets out of the pressure. And sometimes he actually receive the ball at higher up on the pitch and go for the counter attack and move the ball towards the wing, towards either Dumfries or the Deli Blind. So sometimes he plays as a number 10 in that case. So they can actually build up two ways. Now, how can I don't know, like if you want to add it in anything
No,
so far.
no, that's you just talked about only the build-up portion, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. They can actually build up like these five players. They create a sort of like a pentagon in the midfield, because like Dipe had a tendency to drop down. Gakpo doesn't have that much tendency to drop down, but he sometimes also drop down. So like there are always like a triangle, you know, as you can see. So they can actually get in and out of pressure in like no time so far. So that's their build up if they want to play in the front foot. So how they can actually harm opponents. We can actually go for like a two brilliant game. I'm not actually taking, with all those all due respect, I'm not actually talking about Qatar game. The first game they played against Senegal, and the game today against USA. So they actually what they did actually, I think we have mentioned Van Gaal is a huge fan of man marking, or sometimes he does that. He actually man marked, assigned actually Klassen towards Adams, I guess, today, and he was actually following around. And the build up of the team, US team actually, it was actually depends on Adams, and he was the distributor of the uh, team, and it creates sort of like this sort of things with the US men's national team, uh, and 2-1, 2-1-3 sort of like things. but these two was are like really up in the field, so they can create like a three situations there. And but the Klassen was so into this guy, so that we can actually may more likely can see in the game if Argentina is depending on Enzo to release the pressure. Because and another thing in the US game so far, what I have seen that like sorry, um, so far what I have seen that like they were actually sort of lying a little bit deeper, not like that much deep, a little bit deeper, you know. Uh, Sorry, yeah. And De Jong was actually moving freely this area. Sometimes actually Rune becomes a little bit higher. Rune actually pushed a little bit higher, not that much, but yeah, sort of like that, and becomes a second eight for the team if De Jong is playing like one of his games. But sometimes he does. Uh, he also can go down a little bit, collect the ball, and release the pressure and stuff like that. But what they can do so far with against Argentina is that if Argentina they are going to push a little bit further up in the pitch. That's what I'm guessing actually, because both of their fullback and I'm actually thinking that because compared to man by man, uh, player player, Argentina has like except for Frankie De Jong, Argentina has actually better ball players than them actually. So what they can do, they can actually unleash the like Klassen towards Enzo, try to like block those sort of situations, like. And what we have seen today, like Dipe and Gakpo was staying together around this center defensive midfield position to try to block those channels between defensive midfielders and the center backs. So that actually caused the huge problem. That is actually so far we have seen from the first game of Argentina that played. And another thing, um, so far I am actually guessing that Dumfries will like go toe and toe with Equina. If Equina goes there, he will go like pushed up and try to block Equina. And he, if Equina push him back, he will be there actually. Like because Equina is the one of the player who actually gives depth to towards the Argentine the whole system. And something another thing is that like I think the defensive line will be a little bit higher than today because they will try to stop Messi making those horizontal or not horizontal, just diagonal passes towards the left wings. And Timber has a tendency to push forward and try to block those sort of channels. So far, what we have seen, and also like AK has a tendency to do that actually. So and another thing is that I'm not sure about Blind or something like that. And if Argentina can attack in any areas, it should be the right side of the pitch because Dipe drops, but he doesn't drop that much. So this is their Argentina's way out. But what we have seen, Frankie De Jong could actually push a little bit further to become to get right on to the deep ball, and AK can push further on Messi, and yeah, and the every other players actually like the center backs actually like stay a little bit tighter, so that like their only option is to run uh, towards the wing and pass towards the wings. And so they're trying to they will probably most likely try to do either like two players will be man marked. So far, I am guessing is one is Enzo Fernandez most likely, and another is Equina. So yeah, that's one way to go. Another way, what we have seen, like he can actually build some systems a little bit, like changes in personnel, so he can actually change the shape a little bit, you know, without the man marking system. He can create like a 3-3 block in the middle and push Argentina towards the wings, you know. Uh,
That would be
so
suicidal. That he would never do.
yeah, but there will be changes in the system. He won't play
It would
like
be
three in the
similar
back.
to what Martino did against Argentina, Tata Martino.
No, it won't,
It,
because
all I can tell you,
it will
it's a 5-3-2.
yeah, it will more likely be
Yes, but
likely
the functionality would be different,
to
obviously,
the
because but it will be 5-3-2
yeah, but it will more likely be like Saudi system,
I
what
I
Saudi
doubt that
yeah, but because they have better personnel in that case, that's what that's another option actually. And
because Saudi had I mean, obviously that two lines can be very compact, but I'm not here to say what is the chances. It could be, and the high line is a dangerous ploy against someone like Julian Alvarez.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, but they're more likely to go for high lines because like it's a
it
knockout
makes
game.
sense. It makes sense.
And
But again,
yeah, another thing is
if
that they don't want to
that's a high risk,
run that much actually.
it's a high risk. Louis van Gaal doesn't take risks.
Yeah, but the thing is that like so far what I have seen, uh, if he wants to move against this midfield quartet, like I'm
Yeah,
counting mostly as a
he has to
midfielder,
put the lineup. That you're correct on that.
a little bit, a little bit,
You're
a
correct on
little
that.
bit risk, because I have seen him taking risk, even like with this dump Dutch team in 2014.
Well,
They were actually
let's
creating low blocks.
very different team, different teams.
Yeah, yeah,
This team
yeah, exactly.
I can see because of Virgil and Ake and Timber. It is possible to have
Mhm.
a high line. It is possible,
Yeah, yeah.
and also
And Virgil is like really comfortable on Highline.
it might help Daily Blind's positioning too.
Yeah, they don't have to run that much actually. Because Argentines also has a tendency to run like further. So that means actually, and another thing is that like they can actually unleash Depay in one of this sort of position,
Well, let's see.
as a number 10 so far. So yeah, that's my so far like more or less like my take on what is going to happen. And so far what we have seen, they
But
can actually
in the high line, one
attack.
thing for sure, you have to you cannot give the wings or width to Argentines. You have to. Acuna is a very important guy, and the
Yeah,
other
because
whoever.
that's why I mentioned like this guy should be like more likely to be man marked,
But then
and Enzo is going to be man marked.
If Dumfries is man marking that,
Yeah.
that makes it
Mhm.
harder for them to attack on that side. It becomes a KG situation definitely. Then you
Yeah,
have
but
to. Then your only goal scoring
this guy will be
opportunity is through cutback, right?
yeah, but they can actually what I have actually showed our audience like two types of build up. So like they can actually like overload one area, and if it's not this this area, then it will be more likely this area actually.
Right.
Um, and that's what I have mentioned that like Argentine can actually attack from this sort of side if
So yeah,
Di
that
Maria
that
is fit.
that area
Yeah,
is becomes
yeah, yeah,
sensitive too.
yeah, exactly. The right side of the Argentine area and left side of their area.
And
But
that's why
another,
normally they overload.
yeah, yeah, actually, not normally, but they can actually overload this
No, no,
area
no.
as well.
Normally
The
Argentina
right wings.
overloads with Di Maria
Oh,
on that side.
Argentina. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, of course, yeah.
yeah,
Um, but with Netherlands team, we have seen like in 2 matches they overload in the left side of the area. It depends on the personnel and
yeah. I think just
in
to
the
help
first and the
Blind.
last match.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like they can actually do both. And another thing is that like Gakpo has a tendency to push a little bit further, and I'm not sure like Otamendi made few mistakes today, and
Well, it's a
Lisandro Martinez
build him
actually
out.
made a yeah Lisandro Martinez actually made a huge save actually
It makes
in the
sense
game.
given the Dumfries side. Makes sense to start Lisandro.
Yeah, exactly. And also like Lisandro is also basically good in the air so far, and Gakpo has a
Well,
tendency
after that
to
challenge
uh,
today, like Mascherano
yeah,
asked, he should be starting. As simple as that.
yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, thank you for putting this up. These are obviously we're not saying Louis Van Gaal will line up this way, but there's very good chance of him doing that.
Yeah, yeah, this is more likely, and I wanted to actually explore what he can do with this limited option he has.
Yeah, he
Um,
definitely doesn't have a lot, to be honest, compared to
yeah,
his previous teams.
but what he has so far talked in the press conferences that like they are going to win the World Cup or something like that.
Well,
So
that Louis Van Gaal, obviously.
yeah, and also like there are some drama going on. Like Marco van Basten has is having a how can I say riot with Virgil because there were some comments like okay, he should not actually make those. He should actually block this player who scored against them in the Ecuador game. And Virgil was coming back and he was saying like it's easy to comment staying in the box, commentary box and uh, these
Okay.
sort of things. And there
Well,
are some
that
drama going on.
happens. That happens. That's
Yeah,
outside of the camp. It doesn't matter. People talks and Dutch media. I think some of the Dutch experts. I don't really, with full respect of Van Basten and also Van der Bart. I think, but yeah, I don't
yeah,
really count them as much. But yeah, thank you for putting this up.